Oh, and we're going live. All right, greetings. It's Dr. Schiller. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are in the middle of the enrollment period for the Movement Towards Health program. And if you haven't heard, it's kind of like self-healing school. It's an affordable online membership that teaches you skills and tools to help improve your ability to move with less pain, with more energy, with a greater sense of well-being, with a better mood, with less anxiety, and all that good stuff. It's scientifically based, proven techniques, and they work. And so we're in the midst of enrollment, and I want to thank the people who have enrolled in this past part of a week. There's been some very enthusiastic responses, and there are questions. And so I want to answer one of the questions that keeps coming up. And the question is, well, how much time do I need to invest in this? If I'm going to enroll, like I've got a busy life, how much time do I need to invest? So there's the simple answer, and then there's like the real answer, as in most cases. Sometimes people want to give you a simple answer so that you do what they want. But then there's reality, and you want to know what reality is so you can actually make an informed choice. And I want you to consider an equation or a consideration before we even answer the question, which is, how much time and effort are you willing to invest to feel better? Think about the way your life could be if you keep going the way you're going. And think about the way your life could be if you actually learn to move with less pain, with more energy, with better mood, with more joy, with a greater sense of confidence. So if you do the work that you need to do so that you unravel some of those biological patterns that are keeping you stuck in chronic pain and moving you towards disability and making it harder and harder for you to function. If you actually fix that stuff through the work that we do in the program, it's a very good chance that you're actually going to have more energy, that you're going to feel better, you're going to be able to move and do more things with less pain. And you're going to probably have a better outlook and more confidence and feel less helpless. And you might have a sense of wow, I can actually do stuff I care about. I can go to work. I can take care of my kids or grandkids. I can do things that I care about with my family members. Whatever it is that gives you meaning and purpose. And what is that worth to you? Because I think that's really the question. It's that's on one side of the scale. And on the other side of the scale is this question of well, okay, if you don't change anything and things continue to go the direction that they're going, if you continue to have, flare-ups of pain frequently, and flare-ups of pain anytime you try to clean the house or do things go to the park or go to work or do things that are meaningful for you. And if that continues, or if that gets worse, and if you get worse into the snowball of symptoms, what's that difference worth to you? Because that's what's going to determine what you're willing to invest. And if you get clear on that, then you'll know what it's worth to you. Movement Towards Health is a whole set of mind-body and body-mind tools and techniques. It's training. And how does healing work? And just to review that briefly, one aspect of it is helping you drop into this deep place of calm and helping you learn to contact your body with your awareness, with compassion, and the calm quiet that shifts you out of that inflammatory stress disease biology and into that calm healing biology. That itself is very important. And you can do that in 10-15 minutes. And if you do that 10-15 minutes once or twice a day for a couple of months, you'll probably feel significantly better. But there are other elements to the training. Because if you're like most people, even without chronic pain and fibromyalgia and all sorts of other different chronic illnesses and pain problems that have snowballed, we're all full of reactivity. We're all full of unconscious, difficult patterns that keep us stuck in thinking small, in mindsets that don't serve us. And if you do have one of those chronic pain or chronic illness syndromes, it's likely that may have even amplified and gotten worse. And it's likely that there's a certain amount of fear and avoidance and perhaps catastrophizing. It could be that there's a certain amount of body reactivity where your body is just tightening up and restricting in response to whatever it is. It could be your food choices, it could be your thoughts, your emotions, your relationships, things you hear about on the news. And retraining that is part of what we do. We train in deep, mindful, compassionate awareness and presence. And it's hard to sort of give words to that experience, but when it happens to you and you suddenly go, ah, and like you get that insight and you release something and you realize, wow, I'm not stuck like I thought I was. And it comes from inside of you. It's not like someone's telling you. It's more like a gift that comes to you. And so that takes more time. It takes more time to learn that, to practice on a consistent basis. And then the third main category of what we do is mindful movement. And it looks like Tai Chi or Qigong, very gentle, slow, breathing, synchronizing breathing with movement, quiet, happy mind, bringing that into your body, retraining your body, and reorganizing the neural networks that connect your movement system with your emotional system, your arousal system, your beliefs that you have about yourself. Basically, creating a sense of yourself in the world, moving through the world that is free and happy and positive and able, without pain, without so much fear and anxiety. And so that stuff takes training, and it takes training over time. And the rewards are tremendous if you do the work. And if you come to class once a week for 60 to 90 minutes like the live classes are, and if that's all you do, you'll probably get some benefit. You'll probably get that feeling of, oh, it feels so good to do this. And you might get some benefit that accumulates over time. But the potential of this work is to retrain and reorganize your brain, immune, neuromuscular, your entire system, your neural networks. Nerves that fire together wire together. And if you've got chronic pain or chronic illness or unresolved pain, your nervous system has organized around that and created an equilibrium that's a pain equilibrium. And what I'm giving you is tools to shift that and wind that backwards and turn it towards a well-being, freedom of motion, freedom of mood, freedom of choice, freedom to feel good and live and be connected to life, biology and neurobiology. And so you need to put time into that. And so my suggestion at a minimum of what people choose to do is like come to the weekly class whenever you can, and to find at least 3 days a week to practice. And that practice could be 20 minutes, could be 30 minutes, it could be, practice a whole hour-long sitting meditation and then moving meditation. It's really up to you, and typically within a certain framework or boundary, the more practice you do, the better it's going to be. And I want to suggest that you really think through, and maybe even do this now. Grab a piece of paper and write yourself a letter of what you would be saying if you felt better. What would you be saying about your life and how it's changed? If you had half or less than half of the pain you have now, if you had twice as much energy, if you had a sense of positive mood and some positive sense of being able to do stuff you cared about, what would you think and what would you feel and what would you be able to do and what would it mean to you? What would it mean to your family? What would it mean to your life? And write that out. And then on the other side of the paper, another piece of paper, write out what it would be like if you don't get better, and if things just really stay like they are, or if they get worse. And look at those two things and decide, how much time am I willing to invest in this? Am I willing to miss out on that Netflix special that I watch? Am I willing to miss out on some other time wasting where I'm scrolling on my social media for half an hour a day or 40 minutes a day? Like, if you care about it enough, you will grab hold of yourself and you will schedule the time. You'll reach out to the community that we have and you'll find a study buddy and say, all right, on Tuesdays at 3 and Thursdays at 3, let's meet on Zoom. And you'll go into the community, you can make your own live Zoom there, and you'll meet, and that person could be anywhere in the world, and you'll go through some of the practice sessions, and then you'll talk about it and maybe have some laughs. Or maybe you'll just do it on your own, and you'll go to the recorded library of recordings, both of the live classes or the additional topics we've got in there, and you'll just dive into it and do it. You'll make the time because it matters to you. And I would say the same thing about the cost of the program. It's meant to be affordable. The full access VIP is $67 a month, which is probably a lot less than 2 physical therapy sessions. And you get to do it whenever you want. you're not just like limited to physical therapy once a week or twice a month or something like that. And and it's not so much more than just like going to a Tai Chi class once a week or to go into a yoga class once a week, because this is $67 for a month. But you get this whole extra program. It's not just the class. It's the recordings. It's the community to support you. It's the ongoing Q&A. It's the live coaching with me. And so, put that into your calculation when you think about this. When you think about how much money and how much time I want to put into this, and whether you're thinking about doing this program or some other pathway of retraining yourself to pull yourself out of that hole that you may have fallen into. It's going to take time, it's going to take effort. And so I encourage you to get really clear on what it means to you on an emotional level, on a personal level, what it means to your life. So that's really what I want to say. If you have any questions, let me know. Put them in the chat. Send me a WhatsApp. Send me a instant message or send me an email. I'm happy to respond. And we are continuing enrollment until this Friday, the 2nd of June. And we're starting next week. And then we're gonna close on Friday and we're gonna get to work. And this program is continuing to evolve and get better. And if you want to join us, join us. I hope you come along. And thanks so much for watching. I'm Dr. Schiller.